augmentation and lifts are some of the most popular procedures, even way before the very popular BBLs were a thing. I myself have been looking into the gummy bears augmentation, for example. Do you imagine how the dress with the cleavage look on me if I get the gummy bears procedure? You know, that the HD Instagram look. No bra under the dress. I've been fantasizing about it. I even went to a consultation last year with the doctor here in New York. But I'm a workaholic, so it's very hard for me to put some time aside for a recovery from a plastic surgery. That's why I've been putting a hold to it. But lately, I've seen that it came to my office. A lot of those came with the breast fat transfer, and it looks great. It looks, in some of the cases, better than the implants. And it's not a foreign object like inside your body. It's your own, very own fat. So now I totally ditched the gummy bears, and I'm looking into the possibility of having the breast fat transfer. Today, we're going to be discussing the pros and the cons of this procedure. Pros: a more natural look. Even when I was considering the implants augmentation, I was not into the stupid, rigid, porn star looking silicone. The old school silicone, remember? It looks like the horrible look, like if you just got 2 basketballs implanted there. So that's a look that I never considered. That gummy bears give you a very natural look, and even the saline water implants, but nothing like your own fat. It definitely looks way more natural. Number 2, I consider you are avoiding all the risks of the breast implants. Talk about rippling, capsular contracture, rupture. Sometimes you need an emergency surgery when it ruptures. The expiration date. The implants have expiration dates, and some of them after 10, 15, or 20 years, you have to replace them. So with your own fat, you don't go through none of that. And have you heard about this illness related to the breast implants? That sometimes the body rejects it, and you feel it in your own body. You start getting nauseous. You start seeing bloody. There's a lot of girls going through that right now, and they have to remove the implants. So with your own fat, you don't go through none of that. And what about loss of sensation? A lot of girls don't want to go through breast lifts of augmentation because they are scared of losing sensation. You know, your nipples, not sensation. It's not happening lately that often, but I still, until this day, see new cases of girls that undergo breast implants to lose sensation. Is that something are you willing to risk or sacrifice? I don't think so. At least not me. No scars. The breast fat transfer that I've seen is totally flawless. No scars. It looks like the doctor used a very little syringe to inject the fat, and you're not going to have any scars. Plus, it heals very fast. The only little tiny scars you're going to have is from the lipo, because they have to lipo some part of your body to take the fat out to be able to transfer it here. So that you might get a little bit of the tiny little incisions that the doctors usually choose a side of your body where it's not visible. And some of them go away after 3 months on how tiny they are. So no scars. It's something that I would really do because I hate scars. One more benefit that I find from the breast fat transfer is that you get extra contouring for your body, because the doctor is going to need fat from some place of your body. And you're going to choose the part where you have the unwanted fat. Let's say the flanks or the fupa over here, you know. In my case, I don't care too much about these parts. I might take it from my arms. Talk about sculpting your body into a better shape and getting the breast augmentation at the same time. It's a win-win situation. There are also some limitations to this procedure. For example, I would say fat reabsorption is one of the things that worry the ladies that go through this procedure. It is inevitable that at least 30% of the transfer fat is going to be reabsorbed by your body. And after the swelling goes away, some of the ladies fall in love with the swollen look. And when the swelling goes away, then they don't feel the augmentation was as significant. For smokers, I would say the body could reabsorb like around 50%, because smoking hinders the oxygen in your body, which it's needed. Like you need a lot of oxygen to be able to preserve the fat. Not feeding the fat, for example. Some of the ladies get nauseous after the procedure and they don't want to eat. If you don't eat enough calories, most likely you're going to reabsorb around 60% of the fat. In that sense, for me, I would avoid the doctors that only go up to 1 cup. Some doctors don't transfer fat to augmentate more than 1 cup. And in case your body reabsorbs, that's not going to be enough. So I will choose a doctor that can augmentate up to 1.5 cups of enhancement. Number 2, I would say the enhancement is not as significant as you cannot go as high as when you do it with an implant. Because with an implant, if you want to double, for example, if your skin can allow an augmentation to go from 300 cc's up to 600 cc's in each breast, you could do that with implants, but not with fat transfer. The most a doctor will increase is 1.5 cups, because that's how much fat the skin could take. So with breast fat transfer, the enhancement is more subtle. It's not as significant. You cannot go from an A cup to a D cup. Number 3 is that for very skinny people with no fat, they are not candidates, unfortunately. So, like, if you don't have any fat to transfer, then if you need augmentation, you will have to either eat a lot of protein and carbs and gain 5 to to 10 more pounds to get some fat to transfer. And that could take time. And some people with a very fast metabolism, that just doesn't happen. Some people, no matter how much they eat, they don't gain weight. I wish that would be me. but I'm not like that. But if you don't have any fat, you can transfer fat. So skinny people, some of them are in a candidate. Number 4, I would say the breast fat transfer adds up more money to the surgery, because you're going to have to endure a post-op care. With breast augmentation, you don't need as much post-op care, talking about like post-op massage and certain things that go with the post-op care of a liposuction. But for breast fat transfer, the area that was lipo, you're going to have to endure a post-op care that is going to add up to the cost of the surgery. So let's say if your surgery is $8,000, you need to have at least $2,000 aside for the post-op care. Fajas, for example. If I lipo my arms, I'm going to have to wear a compression garment. And you know when you do a lipo that as you progress and the swelling is going away in the stages of the post-op, your sizes change. So you cannot count on buying only one faja. So these little things add up to the initial cost of the surgery. But other than that, I don't see nothing wrong with breast fat transfer. So I think if I do decide to go under the knife to get breast augmentation, this is the type of surgery that I would do. That's it for today. I'll see you in another video.